Hey everyone, it's Kenji. I'm gonna make a roasted pumpkin soup. A real easy one. So this is a red curry squash. You could do it with a butternut squash. You could do a kabocha squash, any kind of squash you have, a Hubbard squash. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start by splitting it. Helps to have a big knife for this. Okay, then I'm just gonna take out those seeds. Hey, buddy. If you want to roast the seeds, you can, of course, save them, but we still have a lot of roasted pumpkin seeds left over from Halloween, so don't really need these. So just kind of scrape them out with a spoon. Just like that. This one basically gets all done in the oven, so you don't really have to do much at all here. Okay, so I got my squash. I'm gonna split it now into quarters. Throw it on a sheet tray, just like this. Okay, and now I got some onion. This onion I'm gonna kind of thinly sliver. Not even too thinly, just kind of roughly sliver actually. All right, let's peel it. Okay, and then give it a rough slivering. You belong in slivering. And then what I'm going to do is just put the onion right on top of the squash like this. This is a kind of experimental thing I'm doing. I've never actually made my soup like this before. I often roast the soup and then cook the onions separately, but I was thinking to myself, if I'm roasting that squash anyway, what if I just roast the onion so it gets a little cooked, a little caramelized, and we'll see how it turns out. I think it's going to turn out good. I don't see why it wouldn't. All right, now we're going to get some olive oil. Good amount of it. Okay. Some salt. Some pepper. Give this just a little bit of a rub so that the olive oil kind of coats the squash. That way it doesn't dry out as it's roasting. Now we got some herbs. These are just what I had in the garden. You can use whatever herbs you want. So I got some parsley, got some sage, got some thyme. You know, I think also rosemary would be great if you had it. Marjoram would be great. All right, sage would be great, which is why I used it, I guess. Okay, now this whole thing is just going to go into a 375-degree oven. We're going to let it roast. We're going to roast that until the squash is completely tender, so that should take about a few minutes. I came back real quick because I decided, as I was going through my fridge, I found this knob of young ginger. Young ginger is great because you don't have to peel it. You can eat the peel. If I was using like an older ginger with a tougher skin, I would peel it first with a spoon. But I found this ginger and I thought, oh, I will add this ginger to that tray as well because I really like the flavor of ginger in pumpkin soup. So I'm just gonna take this ginger, toss it right on in there. Let me give it another real little quick drizzle of oil. The ginger doesn't dry out. And, all right. Now it's going back in the oven. It's going to roast until tender, and that will take a couple hours. I turned this oven off. The pumpkin finished cooking in about an hour and a half, so I just shut off the oven, and it's been sitting in there since then. I had to go take my kid to daycare. But anyhow, the pumpkin is done. The way you know it's done is when you take a knife, or I use a cake tester, and you poke it through. It should just go through with no resistance, right? It should pop right through skin and everything. So you want to roast it until it gets to that place, which is where we are. All right, so now I'm going to take this. I'll discard the parts of the herbs that we can't really eat, the stemmy bits. Okay, and then the rest of this stuff, I'm going to put it. Oh, so you see some of the onions like are browned, caramelized. Some of the onions are a little bit softened. I think that's going to be delicious in here. Okay, so once it's kind of cool enough to handle now, so I'm just going to pop everything into a blender. The pumpkin itself, this particular type of squash, you can eat the skin, but it can be a little bit tough, so I'm going to just scoop out the flesh. With other types of squash, some other types of squash, like say a kabocha, you don't need to even remove the skin. You can just eat the whole thing. And actually, you know what? Some of these parts of the skin that are really tender, I'll just leave them in. Mainly just the ends. I'll try and the tougher bits. Even that part's okay. Yeah, maybe I'll just go skin and all. We'll just get rid of these tough little bits. The rest of you will go right in. Tough bits off. I'm doing this in a blender. You can, of course, do this with an immersion blender, hand blender, or a food processor if that's what you've got. Blenders will get your stuff kind of smoother than a food processor ever will, though. That's a little bit hot. All right. Everything else, just gonna go right in here. Smells and tastes good so far. Okay. Now, if I had chicken stock, I would use it, but I don't, so I'm just gonna use some water here. Vegetable stock would also work. Oops, sorry, I'm on. And we're gonna go over and blend. Ooh. So with the blender, you always want to start slow and gradually increase the speed so that it doesn't explode. Let's see how this came out. Let me get a big pot. Ooh. I got this cranberry sauce going over here also. Actually, that looks like it's pretty much done, so good. We'll swap it out. This cranberry sauce, by the way, all it is fresh cranberries, a little sugar, and a little water, and then you just kind of let it cook down until the cranberries kind of soften and pop. And that's all it is. That's all there is to it. Good for poultry, but I'm going to use it actually to garnish the soup. I think it'll be delicious in the soup. You could do with some thinning out here. So I will do that. Ooh, that ginger smells really good. All right, let's rinse out this blender. Okay. So I'm going to taste this. I like to actually generally add a little bit of something sweet to my pumpkin soups, whether it's honey, brown sugar, or what I'm going to use today. Where's that stuff at? Maple syrup. Oh, if it'll open. Just a little drizzle of maple syrup. Let's give that a taste. Doesn't this look good? Yeah, need some salt. I really like that method. I've never done it like that before. I think it's really easy though. Look, everything, throw it all in the oven, throw it all in the blender, and then thin it out. That way you don't have to spend any time sauteing or sweating vegetables. You get that nice roasty flavor. Pinch more salt. A little drizzle more syrup. All right. Let me get a bowl to serve this in. Got that. Let me get a little, oops. Get some of this cranberry business. And what else can we put on here? Oh, I know. Last thing. Where did my pumpkin seeds go? Oh well. All right. Well, we'll go with a little bit of olive oil. And do I have any chives? Pretty sure I have some chives in here somewhere. Chives. Who's got the chives? If you wanted to like fry some sage, that would be really good in this too. Toasted pumpkin seeds, maybe toasted hazelnuts would be excellent in this. Let me do a little chives here. Chive action. All right. Let's taste it, huh? Sweet and savory, a little spicy from the ginger, little heat there. That is really good soup. All right, come on, you want a little bit? Want a little taste of this? Sure. You can have it off my spoon. I'll go get another one. Come on, come here. Come on, bud. There you go. Don't be shy. Good? What do you think? He's unsure. Coming back from work? There you go. There you go. All right, guys, gals, non-binary pals. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.